Hi, this is Dr. Teresa Dale. Welcome. This is Natural Health Radio, and I'm your host, Dr. Teresa Dale. We're going to be talking about a few different things today. Whenever we meet, you can be assured you're going to hear the latest news about topics that affect your health freedom, about the latest of healthcare. And one of the things that I want to make sure that we talk about today is how your brain makes cannabis, makes CBD. Your brain makes it. It's called the endocannabinoid system. And in other words, in many states you still can't buy CBD, but what people need to know is your brain does make it. And that the endocannabinoid system, it's a biological system composed of endocannabinoids, which are endogenous lipid-based retrograde neurotransmitters. So, and these neurotransmitters actually bind to cannabinoid receptors and cannabinoid receptor proteins that are expressed throughout the mammalian central nervous system, including the brain and the peripheral nervous system. So we make our own CBD, so to speak. We make cannabinoids in our brain. Okay, and it's very important to understand that we can get deficient in them, and that sometimes people do really well using a clean, pure, organic CBD without the THC in it, or very much of it. So let's say 3% or less. And you don't even really need that. The CBDs are very important, and there's different types of CBD. There's CBD1 and CBD2 as far as the endocannabinoid receptors, and those are the two receptors that have been identified. You know, there could be more. We could find out tomorrow that we have all these different receptors, endocannabinoid receptors, and that we have to understand that these are responsible for many things in our body. We need them. And sometimes through taking medications, through taking just having a lot of stress and having a sick diet, having medications, having emotions that are out of balance, we can create deficiencies in our endocannabinoid system. Okay, so it's very important. I wanted to make sure you know that if you're holding back on buying CBD because you're afraid of something, don't be. Just make sure it's organic. Okay, it's organic, and that there's no coloring, flavoring in it except if it's organic flavoring, that there is no excipients in it, maybe except for organic. It's in olive oil. I like CBD that's made liquid in olive oil, and that everything should be organic. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the milligrams of what it could be, should be, to have an effect on children, babies, and adults. Of course, with children, it stops seizures. There's proof. And there is proof about its efficacy for cancer as well. So we have to understand that there is proof of that. And I can give examples to you today so that you can share them with other people who are looking for solutions. Okay, this is a show about solutions, Natural Health Radio. We're going to bring things up that we need to deal with, but it's always about the solution for whatever we're bringing up. Okay, so there are two primary endocannabinoid receptors that have been identified, as I was saying a few minutes ago, and that was CBD1 and then CBD2. And I don't know if many of you are coming in now. We are talking about the endocannabinoid system. Everybody has this, okay? And it is related to neurotransmitters. It's an endogenous lipid-based retrograde neurotransmitters that bind to cannabinoid receptors and cannabinoid receptor proteins that are expressed throughout the mammalian central nervous system, including the brain and the peripheral nervous system. So this is something innate in us, okay? And like anything else, we can become deficient in them, and that can cause us to feel depressed. We can feel moody. Maybe our immune system can become not as strong as it should be. So when we're looking at healing the body, don't forget the endocannabinoid system. I am working on a formula, a CBD formula. It's not out yet, and it's going to be available to my health providers and my members only. Okay, so members will be able to get it, and you will be able to get it, and it's going to be potent and organic and clean, and we have it analyzed by the only laboratory that is licensed to analyze the potency and the organic nature of CBD. So these things take time. I went through so many manufacturers looking for the right formula, and many of them said they were right, but they were made from an isolate. They were made in a way that made them synthetic. You have to be very, very careful with these, because in order to sell something, basically they'll tell you anything, basically. And the idea is when you get the sample and you want to make it up, you send it out to a lab to have it analyzed on your own, and that's how you find out the truth. So it's just a process of what I do to make sure that everything that I do is very clean. So one of the things that you need to know about CBD when you buy it, and is that, and also if you're using cannabis because of cancer or any other reason that you're using marijuana or any kind of CBD, is that marijuana contains terpenes. Now, these terpenes are good. They do things that are healthy. These terpenes are a constituent of the plant itself. And sometimes when you take out certain parts of the CBD, like THC, when you remove the THC, you can also remove some terpenes that are healthy and that you wouldn't want to remove. Okay? So we have to be aware of so many different things. I'm going to give you an idea. I know I have a very, very, very smart, very educated group of people that come in, and people who are sometimes educated by just learning and being stuck to the computer, learning and educating themselves. And that is what I'm looking for when we have people join us. We want you to be curious. We want you to check things out, and I think that's an important thing. It's called empowerment. So terpenes, I'm going to give you the lowdown on this. Cannabis, different strains of cannabis have a wide variety of smells and tastes. Many terpenes affect the aroma and the flavor profile of cannabis. Now, by mapping out the terpene properties or profiles, you can predict and manipulate them. I don't really like the idea of manipulating them because it can get into a whole other thing. It's like the way that plants grow is the way I want it, right? But changing the smell and flavor it might be appealing to some manufacturers. As far as I'm concerned, I don't mind a little organic lemon flavor in there, but I don't even think it needs flavoring. Some terpenes have been found to have medicinal benefits, and that's really what I'm interested in all the medicinal benefits in CBD. For example, limon, it's a terpene, it has to do with flavor, aroma, and it's also has some medicinal properties to promote weight loss. Okay, think about that. And prevent and treat cancer. That's limone, Limonene. That's a terpene that's naturally found in cannabis and will be in CBD if it's organic, natural CBD. Okay. Now, it's also used to treat bronchitis, for example, and to make ointments and medicinal creams that penetrate the skin even better, and that's limone. And this is a terpene that is naturally a part of the marijuana plant, of the cannabis plant. So when you get the CBD and you grow plants that are predominantly CBD, you want as little THC as possible without eliminating a lot of the important terpenes. Okay, this is only one terpene we're talking about, okay? And there are more. There's myrcene, Myrcene, and this has been shown to be a sedative and muscle relaxer. And this is a very one that is very good, and it's in naturally occurring cannabis and would be in CBD if it's real CBD. So, and then there's 12 different ones, different terpenes. Some of them are extremely good. Let me tell you about one that I really, really like. And it's called, and I have it here just to make sure, it's called carophyllene or carophyllene. And carophyllene is a naturally occurring terpene in cannabis that has great medicinal uses, like for anxiety. So it helps with anxiety. It also helps with feeling fatigue. If you feel fatigue, it can help with that. It can help with anxiety. So we have to understand that the terpenes that are important for many things. Now, the carophyllene is also useful for depression. It really helps depression, like to make it go away. So this is an important one. There's many important ones, but see, when these plants are grown, all plants have chemical constituents that are naturally part of the plant. So cannabis has that too. Now, when you're growing plants that are mostly CBD, and that's the way the plant is, and it has grown, and the way that it's grown has very little THC in it. In other words, you don't need to get high to cure cancer, but you do need the right CBDs with the right terpenes in it. That's the point I'm making. So we have to understand that I'm going to have an article on my website about this, and as soon as possible. Okay, so you may want to check that out. But some of them are really very amazing in what they do. So the medicinal benefits are for cancer, for depression, for anxiety, for things that you would normally take a drug for, or a nutraceutical or a homeopathic remedy for, which is the best. You can also get that in CBD if it's the right CBD, if it's the right company making it, if it doesn't have any junk in it, if it's from the whole plant, and where the plant itself has very low in THC, 3% or less. So terpenes are very important because a lot of us want to replace and repair that endocannabinoid system that is in our body, in our brain. Our brain produces and our body produces an endocannabinoids, and we have this system and all of this beautiful things happening here. And but with stress, emotional stress, with medication usage, traditional medication, allopathic medication, this will affect neurotransmitters. It'll affect endocannabinoids in a way where it makes you deficient in them. So if you are overly depressed, if you have an immune-related issue, if you have a number of different issues going on that you want a solution for, you can find those solutions on our website. But then in addition, you may want to consider getting a CBD, okay? Because that I know is very, very helpful. And one of the things you need to know, here's what you need to know, okay? And in order to find this out, this may not be on the label, but you can call the company that makes it and find out. There's different ways to extract CBD from cannabis, and some of them are awful and toxic. So you need to find out how it's extracted from the plant, okay? The best way is a safe and effective way, and that is a CO2 extraction. And that CO2 extraction, it's supercritical CO2 method, uses carbon dioxide under high pressure and extremely low temperature to preserve and maintain the purity of the medicinal oil. So this process requires expensive equipment and a steep operational learning curve, but when done well, the end product is safe, potent, and free of chlorophyll. Okay, you want it free of chlorophyll. Now, then there's ethanol, which is alcohol, and that can be used to create a high-quality cannabis oil for vaping, for pens. I don't believe in doing this because this is not the right way to do CBD. But people do sell it, and the CBD gets in the pen by using ethanol. And this extraction method destroys the plant waxes, which can have a very positive benefit health-wise. And so we have to make sure that everything in the plant, as much as possible, is preserved. And then we also have olive oil. It also is also another way to extract cannabis oil. Benzene is used, which is a very bad way to do it. So a lot of companies that are putting out CBD at a lower cost use benzene, which is toxic, and that remains in the plant. But it doesn't say that on a label. That's why you're here today, because you can tell people and share with them. So what I have to say is open your heart, share what you know, and when you see someone in pain, know that pain does not define who you are, and people are always going to have pain of one kind or another, but suffering, the idea of suffering, can be optional. It is optional, okay? Think about it. So, but benzene is a very bad, cheap extraction process that is toxic, and we have to make a note of that. I do want to discuss, we've discussed a little bit about the terpenes, and we have somebody calling in. We just can't accept callers right now. We're on Natural Health Radio and Facebook Live. Thank you so much for being with me today. And we have about 30 minutes to go. And we want to give you a lot of education and talk to you about what many people are dealing with today, and how CBD and how natural medicine can really help. This show is about your health freedom. You have the freedom to treat yourself the way you choose. Okay? You do have that. Okay, and not everything out there that you think, oh, it's so expensive to do that. It can be, but there are ways to do it that is not as expensive. So, and you can find those ways. And part of that is to educate yourself, like what works and what doesn't work. And so you can check out our protocols in our members area, which is only $20 a month. It will give you the education you're looking for, the protocols that you're looking for, the vaccine opt-out forms for every state in the country that you're looking for, and audios and videos. So that's a place for education to get a deep discount on my products if that feels like something you want. And also the way that you can connect with me personally by sending me emails every day if you want to and asking me questions. And there's no charge for that beyond the $20 a month. If you want an appointment to go over your health completely, then there is a charge. And you can do all of that is at your disposal to see what you can do in the members area. I want to talk with you about what many people are suffering from, and especially women, and this is endometriosis, fibroids, and cysts. Well, this is something that a lot of women that I talk to share with me constantly. Every time I have an appointment, I see that women have or have been diagnosed with endometriosis, fibroids, and cysts. And especially with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, we have to look at that. And I have a protocol. It's in the members area that will help you to assist you to learn how to fix this. And it's called the Endometriosis Fibro and Cyst Kit. And that is only available to our members. But I can tell you some things that it can include. One of the things that it includes is a way to shrink the fibroids and the cysts. And that is done with a couple of nutritional products. That's what their job is. That's what they're known to do in research, is to shrink inflammation, to get rid of fibrin, to shrink fibroid cysts and help dramatically endometriosis. So we have to know that one of the things that's used is biofilm detox. The other thing is raw nattokinase, and we have a vitamin D3 for your immune system, which is completely natural. And of course, we need bioiodine. It is very important for our body to detoxify radiation, to protect us from radiation, because radiation can cause cysts and fibroids. So if you have cysts, fibroids, and endometriosis, number one is you have to find out why. When did it occur? Why do you have it? Do you have it because of mercury fillings, because of root canals, because of implants, because of your diet, because of your emotions, because of your stress? Why do you have it? So you will find a professional assessment test for your use that helps to lay this out inside of the members area. And the other thing that we have is the hormone rejuvenation, homeopathic hormone rejuvenation, that balances hormones, whether they're high or low. It cannot overstimulate. It cannot cause toxicity. If your body gets to a normal place by using the hormone rejuvenation that I've created, then if you take it and your body doesn't need it, it just doesn't work. Your body doesn't utilize it, even if you take it. So it's like a self-regulating, safe homeopathic hormone rejuvenation system, and that's part of this protocol. And you may also want to check out and see if you have Candida yeast. That would be the other part, to ensure that you're handling that if you do have it, because that can play a part in endometriosis, fibroids, and cysts. And PCOS, one of the ways you can tell if you have PCOS, polycystic ovarian cysts. So we want to look at a test that you can do for that, and that's the androstenedione test. Androstenedione test. That test, if it's elevated, indicates PCOS, polycystic ovarian system. So what you want to do is go to Direct Labs on my website, wellnesscenter.net, click under products, and you can look for the blood chemistry panel. You can look for the androstenedione test. You can do a saliva test to see if that's indicated, if that test is high or not. But that is the test that we look at to see if a person would have that issue. So because endometriosis, cysts, and fibroids, okay, let's look at this a little bit more careful. Women, what are the symptoms? Women have pain. They have possibly, there are cysts pressing on the bladder, so they have to frequently void their bladder. They have periods that are too long, too much bleeding too long. They have distended stomachs, tummies. So we have to look at the side effects or the symptoms of endometriosis, fibroids, and cysts, and we have to ourselves find the cause. And if you think, oh, I can't do that, I can't find the cause, yes, you can. You just need a little bit of education. Like, what can cause endometriosis, fibroids, and cysts? Okay, we just talked about it. Mercury fillings, root canals, implants, because every tooth has an organ, system, and gland relationship. Every tooth is connected by the acupuncture meridian system to organs, systems, and glands. And when you have mercury in your teeth, when you have root canals or implants, you should look at my tooth chart and see what organs those teeth are connected with. Okay, so that tooth chart is free for you. Go to wellnesscenter.net. This was a really big thing. Please go there, get this tooth chart, check it out, and go on and look under resources and then charts. Look on, and you'll see charts, and you'll see two charts there. One is a tooth chart, dental chart. The other one is the 24-hour body clock chart. You can print out both. There's no charge. Okay, this is because it is so important that you learn to see the cause of these things. Okay, now, how does it relate to the endocannabinoid system? Well, they have not investigated the endocannabinoid system as carefully as I would certainly like them to do, but we know that a deficiency in endocannabinoids can be responsible for many things, including depression, including the regulation of your appetite and the regulation of your immune system. So in that light, that your endocannabinoid system controls your immune system and has an effect, you need to make sure that your endocannabinoid system is balanced. And you balance it by using a little CBD. Okay? Take a look in the fact and see if you are anxious or depressed, or if you have confusion, pain. Just, there's so many different things involved here, and you should definitely take a look. And I will have an article up on my website in the next 2 weeks that you can check out on this. It'll be very thorough. But remember that CBD in some states, CBD is still a Schedule 1 drug, still a Schedule 1, and you just can't even believe that, because it's available to buy in certain states if it has under 3% of THC, which is the stuff that makes you high and crazy. maybe not so crazy, maybe more normal than usual. But we need to know that the THC is not the important thing in using CBD. CBD is an important thing, especially for cancer. But getting a plant that has all of the different cannabinoids in them is helpful, and the terpenes that are so very important, and the CBD has to be extracted the right way. You don't want it extracted with benzene, which is toxic, and that toxicity stays in the product, and they don't tell you that on the label. So there is not a full disclosure, and those kind of things drive me crazy because you are the consumer, okay? And unless you educate yourself on the terpenes, on CBD, on what THC really does, on the different extraction methods. Unless you are educated on these things, you could buy the wrong thing and make yourself sick. Okay? We prefer that you become educated so that you can heal your body. And I see that we're having people right now chat with me, and they're saying that the video feed is messing up. I don't understand how that is. We are plugged into the wall. We are doing good on Natural Health Radio. So Natural Health Radio is the source for your health freedom. Stay tuned every week, because every week we have really the latest, and I've presented you with the latest information on endocannabinoid system, okay? And also on handling endometriosis, fibroids, and cysts without using any drugs. And you should ask me, well, how long does that take, Dr. Dale? Find the cause, remove the cause, and then use the things I was talking about, the endometriosis, fibroid, and cyst kit, which is available to my members. So I want to make sure you have that information, and so that you can help yourself and help others. Share what you know. It's very important to do that. I think that as we move forward in our world of food, and all of us love to eat. I don't know anybody that has ever said to me, oh, I can live without food. I don't really like it. I mean, it's like, we love it, right? We love to eat. We love to eat good, tasty food that's good for us, that is tasty for us. And one of the things we need to avoid, like the plague, is GMOs, genetically modified organisms, that are genetically modified organism seeds, that they grow this stuff that has Roundup in it. Okay? So one of the things we need to do is avoid GMOs. You avoid it by eating only organic, but in your life, most people eat other things that are not organic, so that you have glyphosates in your body. That's right. Roundup, the chief ingredient that is the insecticide, is Roundup. In Roundup is glyphosates. So I went ahead and made a formula called Biotox Pest, P-E-S-T, which is a homeopathic formula that neutralizes glyphosate in your body. And it is involved with every disease process. There is tons of research online. If you just go to Google and Google glyphosate, Glyphosate, you will see glyphosate and causing disease. You'll see all the diseases that are related to this. So if you are not feeling good, then get that one remedy. You'll only need one bottle of it to detoxify or neutralize the glyphosate in your body. It's a homeopathic formula, has no side effects. Anyone at any age can take it. And if you've tried a lot of different things to get well and you're still dealing with the issue, try to detoxify your body from glyphosate and start eating organic foods, because they're the only foods that does not have glyphosate in it. Even if it says non-GMO, it doesn't mean there's not glyphosate in it, because if it's non-GMO, but yet not organic, then it's been sprayed. It's been sprayed with pesticides. all pesticides have glyphosate. So this is involved with so many different health issues. It's just too long to rattle off to you. You can check it out, and I will be posting an article on this too. We are working very hard to get all these things done for you. Okay, now in the members area, you will find different ways to detoxify yourself. You can just go to drdaleswellnessstore.com, drdaleswellnessstore.com, and look up our cleanse. We have the best cleanses that there are available. Okay. And that means they're organic, and that means they're in veggie caps, and that means they're from the United States. That means they've been tested and have no parasites or heavy metals. And it's been used in outpatient clinic of hospitals to help people get off of meds. Okay. There are a lot of doctors that are interested in moving forward in natural medicine. Okay. And not all medical doctors only want to use drugs or even use any drugs. So things are changing, and I'm giving you this hopeful energy because it's the truth, and because we need to not be judgmental. But then again, on the other half, we also need to be truthful. And the truth is there's around 700 deaths each year from medical mistakes, not only in hospitals, but by giving wrong drugs, wrong dosages of drugs, or wrong, something. So that's what the American Association of Iatrogenesis numbers that they come up with. And we also need to be aware of that. So being aware is being smart. That's taking care of yourself. And then you want to educate yourself by becoming a member so that you can learn about the protocols, what you can do to help yourself. I think you'd be shocked. I do. I think you'd be absolutely surprised to see how people can help themselves, come from a place of power. Never give your power away. Don't ever give your power away. When you do that, then you become a victim. We don't want to become a victim. We want to stay in our most powerful self, and that comes from educating yourself about your body, about your health. And one of the things that I'm doing recently, and I thought I would share with you, is for structure, my structure of my body, I do Rolfing, ROLFING. Rolfing is a system of structural integration that was developed by Ida Rolf. That's Ida, IDA, and the last name is Rolf, ROLF. So it's called Rolfing. So each session is an hour and a half, and it works with the fascia and the muscles. It's not a massage. It's specific to where your aches and pains are structurally. Bones, joints, strains, concussions, all these different things should be dealt with by a Rolfer. And because this will really help the body find its way back to normal structure, normal balance. A lot of people lose their balance today. Find out why. If you lose your balance, it could be many different things, but one of those things could be structure, and that your structural integration is off because of a fall, because of a car accident or something like that. So you might want to check out Rolfing. I think it's very good to know what to do if you have structural issues. That would be the best thing that I could ever recommend to you. More than anything else, the thing that I know will absolutely help you. And try to find a certified advanced Rolfer that's been doing it for 20 to 40 years and has studied in the Rolf Institute in Denver. Maybe even with Ida Rolf. So you definitely you can help yourself in many different ways. It's just researching. Now with the internet, you have so many options today. You can educate yourself on endocannabinoids, on endometriosis, fibroids and cysts, on structural issues, even distended vertebrae or other problems with the vertebrae can be helped by Rolfing, because it works with the fascia and the muscles of the body. So there's many different things you can do. And this is going to be up to you to get educated so that you can make the right choice. And as long as it's natural medicine and something in natural medicine, you may try one thing and maybe it works a little bit, so you try something else. Just do the education and you'll hit it right the first time. Okay. So I know one of the things that's so very important in the last few minutes we have left, I'm going to try to get this out. But one of the things people do for cancer, which is, I don't think it's, know if it's allowed in the United States yet. It might be depending upon the state, is when they do immunotherapy where they take out blood with a needle, they ozonate it and give it back to the person as a vaccine. Or they drip it back in your body with a drip. Now, what does that do? Well, the ozone kills all viruses, including cancer. Okay? So you may want to look for a health provider that does ozone therapy by removing the blood and then ozonating it and then injecting it back into your body. Safe. Very safe. Effective. My gosh, I've seen it used for people effectively with people with AIDS and cancer. So this helps. Ozone kills viruses. It's the other thing, very important thing to be aware of. I just want you to know these things. And we are just about out of time, right, Daryl?
We have about 7.5 minutes left.
7.5 minutes. Great. I have another opportunity to share something with you. And that is cleansing the body is one of the most important things that you can do. If you don't cleanse, all the toxins stay in your body for your lifetime and they keep building up. They're not going to go anywhere by themselves. Even if you eat clean, it's what did you do before you were eating clean? What was your life then like? How many did you eat organic? If not, you need to do a cleanse. Every 6 months to a year, you do a cleanse. And you have to do a cleanse that affects in a positive way and cleanses out all the filtering organs. And that's your kidneys, your liver, your colon, detoxifying the blood, pulling the poisons and the chemicals and the heavy metals and everything out of your blood. And then, of course, your colon, to not take a laxative, but actually take a colon cleanser that will help sweep the colon and remove the toxins that you're loosening up from the kidneys, the liver, and the blood. Okay? So it's an entire cleanse of the body's filtering system. Best thing in the world for you. Great place to start or to include with a great daily natural essentials like the Optimal Multi Pro, which is a multiple vitamin that has the methylated B12 and 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate, which is the most absorbable, best, most expensive type of folate. And it has no junk in it. And all of the things that you will learn about on the Wellness Center, Dr. Dale's Wellness Store, will be non-toxic, non-GMO, gluten-free, not irradiated, in veggie caps, no magnesium stearate, and you are safe to go. So we have to become very aware that our choices matter. Read labels and turn down the products with the toxins in it. This way the manufacturers learn that their sales go down and they have to do better. Okay? I want them to do better. Okay? I don't want to be one of the only ones on the market having clean products. There's a lot of people out there. So if you reject products that have toxins in them and you come to someone who does have clean products, and every time you reject someone who has toxic products their sales go down, then they look at and they start understanding, hey, we have to make cleaner products. So communicate with people and let them know why you're using their products or why you're not using their products. This is your Health Freedom Station. This is Natural Health Radio. I am your host, Dr. Teresa Dale. We are on Facebook Live. I know that some of the broadcast has been a little spotty in and out, but you can always share this with your friends and then you can listen to it again. Share with your friends. So click share and then we're going to be helping a whole lot of people. So I also want to remind you that should you want some further education, go to the members area, become a member. It's only $20 a month. If you want to help other people and become a clinical nutritionist or a homeopathic medical practitioner, then you would go to the California College of Natural Medicine and sign up for one of the California College of Natural Medicine's trainings. CCNM is state licensed since 1994. I have written the majority of the curriculum, and we change it often to make sure everything is updated. So I want to thank you so much for being with us today. Go to thewellnesscenter.net. Check out our articles, see how it feels to you, and let us know on the website, wellnesscenter.net, or by giving us a call, what you would like to hear on Natural Health Radio and Facebook Live. I'm very interested in what you want to know about because it's probably 100 other people or 200 other people or thousands of people want to know the same thing. What we want to know is how to handle stress, be thin, how to have a happy life, how to have joy and bliss in our life. And we also have to know that our pain does not define us, and that just because we have pain, we don't have to experience suffering. So you can get rid of pain with natural things. You don't have to take drugs for it. And I want you to make that impression very strong. You do not need to take drugs for pain. You can take natural products. You will find them on Dr. Dale's wellnessstore.com, and they work really, really well. Thank you so very much. We're going to be ending it for today. Next week, we have a special guest, and his name is Benson, and he is awesome, and you're going to learn about how to have a business in God. Okay? So I want to welcome you and come back next week and be here at 1 o'clock on Tuesday. All right. Many blessings to everyone. Don't forget, you can give us a call at 800-219-1261. I have Robert answering in the afternoon every day and Chris in the morning at that number. So give us a call and check out our website. Most important. Thank you so very much and have a beautiful day. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye for now.